of course, there are tickets still up for the grand finals as well. So that's one of the important part that every category is playing for, the final ticket for the grand finals in Portugal later this year. The grid then for the second Minimax heat looks as follows. He's going to have Duraf Kendi start from pole position once more. Can he hold it through the first corner this time? We'll have to wait and see in kart 411. Alongside him will be that of Ollie Pilker in kart 413. On row 2, we then have 414, which is Balazs Valent. Alongside him is going to be Victor Abozanek in 416. And the final row of the grid for the Minimax is going to see Gianni Androzini, the German racer. Alongside him is going to be Jazik Spinkovic to round out the 6 runners within this race. 7 laps to look forward to. They'll have 2 warm-up laps, and one of those laps has already caught out Duraf Kendi. Is spun. You can just see him rejoining there on a warm-up lap, which is not too good. So Duraf having a really bad day so far, by the looks of it, with a spin on a warm-up lap and a spin at the first corner in heat number 1. Hopefully, that's his bad luck now done. He will be able to take up his place at the front of the grid. It's not like any other car category, where if you drop behind the last cart or car within the warm-up lap, you have to drop to the back. You can regain your position if there's time to do so. So Duraf Kendi gets himself back to the front. We'll lead the field through, but it is pretty treacherous down there, and I think possibly many of the karters have gone for slick tyres as well, so that might be one of the reasons that's catching the drivers out. Of course, they were onto the dummy grid probably about 5 to 10 minutes before the race actually gets underway, which means if rain does come, you don't have the opportunity to change your tyres, and the driver's being told now to warm their tyres up as much as possible. So you'll see a lot of close quarters here and a lot of weaving from side to side across a very wide track here, the Lucas Carrera International Circuit. Had a walk of it last night. It is very wide. It's quite long, quite twisty. Some great corners on this track, and it's nicely flat as well, so not too much camber change for all the drivers to deal with, but a wonderful circuit, and great to be back here for a second consecutive year for the Winter Cup. Provides some really close racing, especially down at the last corner, because we've got a chicane there which goes right, left, right. We had a few controversial moves there last year which did penalise a few drivers and cause controversy, but hopefully this year we'll stay away from that. But it is a great circuit. As I say, great to be back here for a second year. So they're now on their second warm-up lap, heading their way down off the back, or the short back straight, down through turns 9 and 10. And then, of course, from here you start to build your speed once more. Just gets quicker and quicker. Flat out from turn 10 all the way down to the hard braking zone at turn number 13. So we'll see some overtaking manoeuvres around this part of the track and some slipstreaming down to the final corner. But that's their final chance now by the looks of it, because I think they should be now getting themselves into formation. The 2 warm-up laps have now come to an end, so it's going to be up to Duraf Kendi to lead the way through. Ollie Pilker there still weaving to get as much warmth into the tyres as possible. He's going to be the man alongside on the outside, which hasn't been the best run down towards turn 1 so far, but let's see on the second occasion for the Minimax how it's going to go. A little bit of bumping already before the lights even go out, and we now get underway for the Minimax for that second race down towards the first corner. And again, not the best of starts from Duraf Kendi. He's been hustled there by Ollie Pilker around the outside, and also it looks like Balazs Valent's going to try and go all the way around with a bit of grip on the outside. Oh, and Duraf Kendi spun again for the second time today. He's been caught up in the melee down at turn number 1. In fact, 3 karts have been involved. Ollie Pilker has survived. It looks like Balazs Valent has got through as well. Who are the 3 that we've kind of lost halfway down the order? That's spread the field out massively now. The other one that's got through is Gianni Androsini, so that means we've lost all the 3 from pretty much the outside. Jazik Spinkovic, Victor Oberzanek and Duraf Kendi have all dropped down the order, but they'll find their way back through, and in these tricky conditions, anything can happen out front. But Ollie Pilker once again heads the field on this first lap, followed by that man there, which is the 414 kart of Balazs Valent, and then right behind him, a great start once more from Gianni Androsini, the German, having a great run so far today. Didn't have the best of qualifying sessions, but race day is proving to be much, much better for Androsini now as he works his way through the chicane on towards the line to complete lap number 1. Ollie Pilker, the 11-year-old from Poland, has been racing now for 6 years, and he's on his way at the minute for victory. But behind that, there's been another move here, because through the inside has gone now Gianni Androsini to move himself up into second place. He got a 3rd place earlier on. He wants to try and go one better in every single heat, which is proven to be the case at the minute. If he can hold on to that ahead of Balazs Valent, that could be very good. He's got a long gap now to try and close down on Ollie Pilker, 2.6 seconds down the road at the end of the first lap. Just shows what a little bit of drama can do at turn 1 to open up the field. But yeah, Ollie Pilker, been racing since the age of 5, so 6 years now he's been racing. He's the 3-time Polish champion. He's been PT on the CEE and had a few more wins along the way as well. One of his favourite tracks is the Italian track of Adria, which is pretty much brand new from a few years ago. And one of his main goals for this year is to win the world champion, or over the next few years he's going to try and win that world championship. So Ollie Pilker comes through to complete now lap number 2, quickest lap of the race from him, and as you'd expect the times have dropped off slightly there. 103.555 is now the quickest lap. Earlier on they were doing 102.7, so near enough a second off what they did this morning. But of course you can believe that due to the weather conditions we have, because they weren't greeted with a greasy track. Everyone after that pretty much was, but these guys, first time they've been out on these greasy conditions. But Ollie Pilker still out in front now by 3.6 seconds, so he's managed to extend it once more. Second place is still Gianni Androsini. Third place for Balazs Valent. And then behind that, the recovering 3 drivers, headed by Giraffe Kendi, Victor Oborzanek and Jazik Spinkovic, lie there in 6th place as they all trundle away. Now onto the back straight for another time. Of course, for the Minimax and for the juniors, they have just 7 laps. The seniors in the DD2 get a slightly longer 10-lap race. Gives you time just to feel your feet. But here comes Ollie Pilker, not needing to do that at all. He's well and truly in the groove so far today as he works his way across the line. Now onto lap number 4 he goes. Gap between himself and Gianni Androsini is out to 4.1 seconds. So very impressive there from Ollie. And he's just gone and done, again, the quickest lap of the race, a 102.813, which is fractionally slower than what he did this morning. So not bad at all from Ollie. Definitely pushing on in these tricky conditions, finding the best of the grip though out there as he works his way through on towards turns 7 and 8. There is the kart that sits down at the back of the field. That was Jazik Spinkovic. That's the man who sits in 3rd place at the minute, which is Balazs Valent in kart 414. Works his way then onto the back straight, down towards the tight left-hander at turn 9. But unfortunately, it's not quite as close as we had in heat number 1, where they're all very closely bunched. We had some great fighting. We had some people working their way back through the field. But of course, with the weather being like this, it's just upset the field slightly. But still giving us some great lap times from Ollie Pilker. Can he improve on his lap this time through? He's done a good sector number 1. Can he match that in sector 3? Yes, he can. He's gone and done a 102.688. So it may be greasier, but he's gone quicker than what Giraffe Kendi did earlier this morning. A 102.688. So a great lap there from Ollie Pilker so far. On the way then through this lap, onto lap number 5. Gap out in front has extended once more to 4.5 seconds now. Got the man who sits there in 2nd place, Gianni Androsini. As we said, aspires to be like the legend of 2 wheels, Valentino Rossi. And then there in 3rd place at the minute, the likes of Balazs Valent. There's a few seconds off the top 2 at the minute, but still doing a grand job in 3rd place. The man from Budapest in Hungary, races with the Hargitia racing team. He's only 10 years old. He's been racing now, though, for 6 years. So they get younger and younger these days. So 4 years old is when he started. He's had some good results in the Hungarian Championships over the last few years, has Balazs Valent. And in his spare time, he likes to do a little bit of basketball and aspires to be in Formula 1 one day. Well, if you keep pushing, move yourself up the ranks, you can get there, I'm sure, one day. Ollie Pilker, you can see once more, our race leader and still the quickest man on track. A 102.502 has now brought the fastest lap down to, leading by 5 seconds, which is a monumental gap in karting terms. Still ahead of Gianni Androsini. Balazs Valent in 3rd. Giraffe Kendi is still quite a way back. He's been caught, though, by Victor Oborzanek in 5th place. Let's have a look at those 2 karts, which I can just see out the window, working their way through turns 7 and 8. Those 2 are probably going to change very, very shortly, because Giraffe Kendi is under pressure, and Victor Oborzanek is trying to get his way through as they work their way onto the back straight. Then let's see if that's going to change on this occasion. Down the back straight they go once more then. Time starting to tick away now. We're going to start the last lap this time through for Ollie Pilker. So through he goes across the line, down towards the first corner. I can tell you, down towards the last corner though, we've had a change for 4th place. So Victor Oborzanek has now gone through, and Giraffe Kendi is going to try and fight back. Side by side they go in towards the first corner. And Giraffe, can he get the job done? Yes, he can. In the slightly brighter colours, he's gone back through once more. So he's got one more lap now to try and hold on Giraffe Kendi for another fairly okayish result. It could have been a lot better again from starting from pole position. But there you go, we'll put that behind him and concentrate on the third and final heat later on today. But Ollie Pilka is set for 2 wins out of 2 here at the Winter Cup in Spain. He's now just got a couple of corners to go as he turns his way through the right-hander at turn 10 on towards the back straight at some high speeds, even in these slightly slower Minimax karts. He's working his way down then, now leading by 5.2 seconds, and he's still the quickest man on circuit with a 102.454. But just one chicane to go for Ollie Pilka. He took Heat 1. He's going to take Heat 2 here as well in Valencia as he comes across the line. Ollie Pilka, as cool as you like, crosses the line to take Heat 2 victory in Spain. Another happy man in second. He's gone one better, has Gianni Androzini to come through ahead of Balaz Valent. And then for 4th place, side by side across the line, it was Victor Oborzanek who just got back ahead of Giraffe Kendi. Great fight between those two for 4th and 5th places. And Jazik Spinkovic comes through now to take the checker flag in 6th place. So some good fights. As we said once again in Minimax, wherever you look in the field, there's something to focus your attentions on. But that man there, Ollie Pilka, improved on the last lap to go even quicker, 102.395. But he is our race winner here in Heat 2 for the Minimax for Unique Racing. Wins by 6 seconds over Gianni Androsini for the RS competition team. 3rd place then for Balaz Valent for Hagiti Racing. And then Victor Oborzanek, Giraffe Kendi and Jazik Spinkovic round out your top 6 here. Heat 2 of the Minimax. They've got one more to come later this afternoon, and that'll be on track at 3 o'clock here for their final chance to set the grid for the pre-final. So cars making their way then back into the pit lane after another hard-fought 7-lap race for Minimax. They can now concentrate, as we said, on their final heat for the day. And at the minute, it's looking like Ollie Pilka, after victory in Heat 1, victory in Heat 2, he's pretty much set to start from pole position for the pre-final tomorrow. And of course, if you get good results in pre-final,